All right, Raider Nation, it's your boy Mikey Raider. That's right, I'm officially in my bathroom. I'm killing two birds with one stone right now. I'm taking a shit. I'm taking a Raider. Okay? Honestly, I am. I'm being. Normally, I just sit down and do it because it's got a counter and it looks good. I'm literally taking a Raider today. If my microphone goes out, that's going to be the end of today's video. I'm having microphone issues. My phone doesn't work with audio, so it is what it is. It's all a mess, okay? And I'm not only talking about my life, I'm talking about the Raiders season, the Raiders past 20 years, and yeah, we're going to get into it. Hopefully it all goes okay, but we all know we're Raiders, so it won't go okay. And if something happens, well, we just have to deal with it, and then we have to take a Raider. So, yeah. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mikey Raider. We're going to go through the Rams, Raiders, disastrous nightmare that I predicted a couple of days ago, the tank game. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel to help support me in my toxic relationship where I keep getting beat down and I keep having to go to the hospital and the bathrooms to take Raiders, and my body has stress attacks and panic attacks every day with this organization. I need some fucking support. So if you guys feel like hitting that thumbs up, that like, becoming a member, help buy me some tacos to stay living, I'd appreciate it. I have donation portals down below. If you guys got some money and you want to prove you're the ultimate Raider, that you're the rich bitch, the king bitch, whatever the bitch you are, if you would like to, hook me up with some money, I'll shout you out on the next episode. I promise. I'm going to do that. We're not looking better. We're not looking better at all. We're actually getting worse all around. And now, at the end of this week's game, some stuff happened where there might be an NFL investigation. Some people might be fired. Some people might get thrown through the wood chipper. And it might be a bigger scandal than the White Sox scandal of the 1950s. Stick around. Hopefully I can get to it without the microphone getting all messed up. Let's talk about the game. What were the storylines going into this game? Well, our season was basically over last week. But for those that still had hope and had faith, they were like, man, the Rams ain't so good. They're like 1-4. We're 2-4. We're a better team. We could pull it out. Our season starts this week. Well, for a second week in a row, Jacoby Myers, our de facto number one wide receiver, was not available. But DJ Turner and everybody else is going to save us, Mikey Raider. This is Trey Tucker's time. AOC's going to get the ball running. We're going to get the ball running versus the Rams defense. Also, they give up a lot of pass yardage, man. So AOC now in the second or third week officially as the quarterback. Here we go, baby. Oh, you motherfuckers with hope. I envy you. I envy you bitches so much. I do. I'm sad because I'm a negative bitch. I don't know why I've become that way. Is it because of the Raiders? Because I've become a conspiracy theorist? Because I see the truth of the world? And I've been let down by girlfriends and real life at every turn, and Taco Bell monthly? Those motherfuckers really, really affect me. Taco Bell does. And in a weird quick of noticing, now that the shady ass bitch is up in New York, I'm glad he had a bad day. Ha ha! The grass ain't greener, bitch, but the dollar bills are. What happened to the Taco Bell ads? I haven't seen one Taco Bell ad in the past 6 days because he's wearing Raider gear or colors. And are they re-AIing it? Are they CGIing to a Jets? Or are they going to wait for the Jets to win? And is he filming a new Taco Bell commercial with Aaron Rodgers? Because he's staying with Aaron Rodgers? I don't know. These are just some questions I ask. But hey, Devontae didn't do so well. But it was a sad sight to see because we all wanted Devontae to be a Raider and we all wanted it to work out. Some of you guys blame the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders, of course, are to blame. But when the shit got tough, Devontae could have stuck around at least till the end of this season, still knowing he'll be a Jet next year. But, whatever. He got his guaranteed money, that he flew the coop, he faked the hamstring. I don't care what people say. It was fake. It was fucking fake. He got on a red eye as quick as possible. And but what real quickly, what was sad to see is that when the shit hits the fan, real character is revealed. We found out what Devontae's character was. That's it. We found out what his character was. I don't want a diva bitch on my team. Good riddance. But it was sad. On the first game, he was fighting for yardage. He was talking to teammates on the sidelines, at least early in that game, helping Garrett Wilson. He was being a leader. Did he even do that the first season with Derek Carr? I don't know. You guys would have to go back and look at the tape with the Raiders. I don't know. Figure it out. Let's move along. He's not the droid we're looking for. He's not the droid we're looking for. Storylines coming into this game, there was rumors of Max Crosby wanting to be traded. Not wanting to be traded. People were predicting he should be traded to Detroit, and he started seeing the post, and then he made a comment saying, wherever I'll be, I'm here to win. Those are some interesting words. I guarantee you Max is fed up. And he's seeing the truth of everything. This team is not built to win. It's not built to win now. It's going to take another 3, 4, 5 years. There's going to be new coaches, new regimes. Max Crosby, reality has to be setting in for him. So you guys will say, no, he's a Raider for life. Yes, you guys said that about Devontae. But Max, in my opinion, is the ultimate Raider. He is giving even more than Devontae, publicly and everywhere. I don't want that dude to go anywhere. But now I care about him so much, Max Crosby, and I love everything he's trying to do for us. I'm starting to wish for him and his career to get on out of here. And it's a sad place when I start to wish for him to be gone to help his career. But there are the thoughts that he is one quarterback away, maybe a Jane Daniels type person, from this team actually completely changing everything around. That could be the case. So in that case, I would like him still here for a couple of years, at least, to see if we can do it again. But he's probably already in his 6th year. He's starting to get injured here and there. He's the only dude being able to do it. So there's definitely a lot of thoughts and questions surrounding Max Crosby. It hurts to think about him not being a Raider. I get it. But I think he's thinking about it now too, especially during a really hard season. But that's what means when true character is revealed. He won't request a trade before week 9, like Devontae did. But next year, there's going to be a lot more talk in the offseason. But Max will gut it out this year, and he's going to do his best to build a winning product with what we got. And we got a decent defense. We do. And next year it will look good as well with the return of Christian Wilkins and these young players. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But there was an Instagram story that the Detroit, I forgot who it was, but somebody just sent it to me. I barely looked at it a second ago. But apparently Detroit said, hey, Max, come to Detroit or something like that. I don't know if it was the official Detroit Lions team or a baseball team or something. I don't know. But apparently Max did like it or repost it. Something about winning. And I think Max Crosby reposted it or liked it. So I don't know what that storylines mean. I'll find out more information later when I have a chance to read it. But just be wary of that. I honestly believe, and no disrespect to Max Crosby, he's thinking about it. He's very upset right now. So we just got to let him have his time. And when they get that Raider shield tattooed on their body, they're a Raider for life. Even if they go to another team. He still did everything 1,000% better than Davante Adams and some of these other Raiders that tried to be a part of the Raiders. So if he leaves, I hope he doesn't, but we'll have a discussion for another day. That being said, let's talk about today's game. Antonio Pierce is not a head coach. Antonio Pierce is not a head coach. AOC is not a starting quarterback. But now I have the realization 1,000% that Gardner Minshew is not either. I actually have been vouching for Gardner this entire year. I have always thought he was better a little bit with a little bit more mobility and other features that Aiden O'Connell does not have. So I've been vouching for him. And now, after this week, yeah, these not Aiden O'Connell, but I want Gardner gone. His true character was revealed this game. Aiden O'Connell apparently, I hope he didn't, but maybe broke his thumb early on in the game while we were driving. And then Gardner had to come in and, be that backup starter, which he's done most of his career for other teams. And he's played well when he's came from the backup position to all of a sudden become the starter. But with the Raiders, I have no clue what happened to him and his mentality, if he has any bravado, any bust, any football left. He came back into this game. So you're thinking, look, we got a decent backup. He's done it before. He's helped us kind of win games coming from the backup role. Well, he came in. There wasn't an ounce of pride. He looked worse than he did even to start the season. Is he immature? Is he so damn insecure that he gave up on the Raiders? I'm sure a lot of players are starting to give up too. I get it. But you're the quarterback. You're the $15 million quarterback that could be a starter at any given moment for an injury. I don't care if you're upset that Aiden O'Connell got the job, they benched you, whatever the case is. You're playing for another team in an adverse situation, and you should have been practicing, learning the Rams defense, and pretending you were going to be the starter. He looked like he had no clue of what to run, even though Luke Getsy's offense is kind of shit. And thank God he was up in the booth. But did that help? I don't think so. But Gardner Minshew, can only control himself. And he looked better in a couple of other games that he's played in with harder defenses. But coming from a backup role, what the fuck was that? Huh, Gardner? As a man to fucking man, what was that? The turnovers, more of them? That's why you were benched, bitch! Did you practice on not throwing those type of balls? Whenever the pressure got into the pocket, the offensive line sucked as well, I'll give you that. I miss the days of Derek Carr just throwing the ball out of bounds. Remember that, you motherfucking Derek Carr haters? Derek Carr doesn't even try to make a play. He just throws the ball out of bounds. I fucking miss those days. But now, we got this motherfucker that's doing what you guys tell him. Just throw the ball, try to make a play. Oh, interception. Oh, fumble, touchdown, pick six. Do you see why I miss the Derek Carr days of him throwing the ball out of bounds or right into the ground? Yes, Derek Carr threw interceptions too. I get it. But they were mainly down the field. Okay? This ain't a Derek Carr segment. But this motherfucker, Gardner Minshew, man, he's dead to me. He's dead to me. I was like, dude, we got a chance in this game. Gardner's coming in. He's been preparing to be the starter. He wants another shot. He's been practicing his throws. He's been trying to not do turnovers in practice. Shit. Yeah, I want Aiden O'Connell back as soon as possible. The Raiders need to go out and sign a quarterback. I think Ryan Tannehill's a free agent. Get that motherfucker in here. He ain't the best. He's the worst. I don't know if he's better than Gardner. I don't give a fuck. Release Gardner Minshew right now. Let's go with one of these fucking quarterbacks that deserve a job and will fight on a sad-ass fucking team to be the Raiders quarterback. Get somebody in here that fucking wants to play, regardless of how fucking bad we are and we're tanking the season. I'm fucking done. Get better, AOC. You were drafted as a Raider. I want you back. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about that shit. Now, I'm not going to get into the game. I can't believe it was even a close game. I mean, the football gods and the defense were fighting their butts off to keep it a close game. They missed a field goal or two, and we were somehow in the game till the end. Now, this is where the controversy sets in, everybody. This is where the motherfucking controversy sets in. Antonio Pierce. I don't need to tell you guys the backstory, but he owes a lot of people a lot of millions of dollars, okay? And now, the end of the game, we were down 12-20. We're down by 8 with like 2 minutes and 48 seconds left. And we got to like, I don't know, maybe the 5-yard line, the 4-yard line, whatever the case may be. It was like a third down. It was a fourth down. We went for it. Then there was a penalty called on the offensive line or something or somebody. We got a 5-yard penalty. Now we're like at the 10-yard line. And it's still fourth down. And we're down 12-20. We might be at the 9-yard line for what I can remember. We're down by 8 points. That's a touchdown and 2-point conversion. Now there's about, 2 minutes and 15, 20, 25, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. I don't know the exact date. And then Antonio Pierce, because of the penalty, he even said it in a press conference, he decides to go for the field goal to make it a 5-point game. It's still a touchdown game. It's still a one-possession game either way, whether you score the field goal or not. Now you're making it a 2-possession game. You are. And I'll be honest with you, for a split second, I was like, yeah, go for the field goal, because in case we get the ball back with timeouts, we can score a touchdown and win the game. Because if we score the field goal, we're down by 5. If we stop them, which our defense was doing a decent job toward the end, and we get the ball back with a minute and 20 or 30, do we have the offense to drive it down there and finally score a fucking touchdown, in which we haven't done all day? Probably not. So do you play the odds, you're at the 8-yard line, that you think hopefully Gardner Minshew can throw the ball and make a completed touchdown pass at the 9-yard line and then go for 2 and try to tie the game officially there? Because either way, we're going to have to score. If we miss the 2-point conversion, we're going to have to score. If we take the field goal, we're going to have to score a touchdown to win. If we get the touchdown, miss the 2-point conversion, we're still going to have to get the ball back and get a field goal to win. So either way, it's like a 2-possession game, kind of. But it could be, with all luck on our side, a 1-possession game where we tie the game. And then later in the game, whether it goes to overtime or whatever the case, maybe we can win it in the end. But Antonio Pierce, in an 8-point game, on 4th down, into the red zone at the 9 or 10-yard line, has no faith in his offense, and he kicks a stupid-ass field goal to still leave it a touchdown game. It makes no fucking sense from a math perspective as a head coach. And it shows no pride or poise or anything in your team. How the hell do you want to build swagger and excitement when you do this shit? No wonder they're quitting on you and giving up on you, Antonio. You're just a fucking mouth. And the reason I mentioned you owe millions of dollars is because, honestly, when it happened, I was watching the game and immediately I go, yeah, maybe you go for the field goal. Then I sat there for a second or two and there was a timeout And then I go, nah, you just go for it. I don't give a fuck what happens. If it's an interception, who cares? If we don't get it, they're at the 8 or 9 yard line or 10 yard line. We can still have 3 timeouts and get the ball back and maybe field position, then try to get another possession and a 2-point conversion to tie the game. Then I started screaming once I realized the field goal team was coming out. Sorry, it's a good Raiders coming out right now. Yeah. All right. But then immediately, my head, honestly, after we lost the game, I was like, what happened? I had to go on Twitter. And I started looking at the gambling sites because I was thinking about putting money. I predicted the Raiders to lose 31-13. So I looked at the money line. And the Raiders were like, I think 6.5-point underdog. So the Raiders, I thought they were going to lose by more than 7. I don't have a lot of money, but I gamble a few dollars here and there. So I wanted to see the money line for the Raiders. And I saw it was like 6.5 or 7 points. And I was like, no, the Raiders lost by 5. So who would buy the under for the Raiders? Because I think we were 6-point underdogs and then it became 7. I don't know the case, but who thought the Raiders were going to be in a close game? I didn't. Maybe you motherfuckers with faith did. But I just looked at that and I go, wow, that's weird. And then I kid you not, I think the algorithm listens to my brain. Because I was thinking like, why did he kick the field goal? So I went on Twitter. I'm looking around. I guess because I looked up the money line. Then my Twitter feed was now with the Raiders because it's always with the Raiders. Then I started seeing people posting Antonio Pierce possibly did fraud. That he owes money, that he possibly made the Raiders kick the field goal, that he might have speculative bet the under. So if we go for a touchdown and we get it, it'll be over. And if he or somebody did gamble on the under, they would lose that money. So he goes for a field goal knowing they bet the under. Somebody in his family, his friends, I don't know. This is all speculation. I don't even know if it's real. But I read a couple of posts that said that might have happened. And these motherfuckers think like I do. So now the narrative started going into my head, right? Then I started thinking about that. I was like, could that have happened? I mean, is this real? I mean, who knows with shady motherfuckers that owe money? I'm not calling Antonio Pierce shady. I'm just saying the situation might be shady. When you owe a lot of money, you might be prone to do shady shit in a losing season. You might even lose your job, and you already know you're going to lose your job. I don't know. But those thoughts kept going through my brain. Then I remembered Antonio Pierce smiling and laughing on the sidelines. I think after we kicked the field goal. Even though we're going to lose and they got a first down or whatever the case, I just remember a shot where Antonio Pierce, like with a referee or something, but he was laughing and smiling on the sidelines. I remember that and I went, holy shit, this could be true. This could be true. He wanted to get the win early, or if he was gambling, if Mark Davis, who lives in Sim City, was gambling, did he throw it for the Raiders, Mark Davis? Some people that are gambling that we don't even know about? They're not allowed to, Mikey Raider. It's illegal, Mikey Raider. That's not what I'm saying. We're in Vegas for a fucking reason. And it's not to win games, and it's not to have a home crowd. Let that motherfucking shit sink in, okay? We're in Sin City for a reason. And clearly it's not to win games. And Mark Davis is still happy and all of a sudden owning $1 million mansions and houses and selling the team to Patriots when they could easily sell the team to Raider legends. But why doesn't Mark Davis do that? He tries to give Tom Brady a discount, but he won't give Raider legends a discount. Mark Davis is there to make money. He ain't there for us. He ain't there for us. Publicly, they try to be. And it's all a smokescreen. So after realizing that I remember Antonio Pierce laughing on the sidelines, I started to think, man, maybe he did. Maybe he made money for the organization. Because you got to remember, Antonio Pierce did some shady money shit and college shit as well, where he can no longer coach or do anything in the collegiate after they had a trial or something for like 10 years. You got to think about that stuff. What a man that owes probably like $30 million to Hyundai not possibly do some shady shit in a losing season, needing money. I don't know. I just fear with all the. Oh, so I saw Wi-Fi Willie later that night. He kind of thinks like me. A lot of you guys don't like him. You call it clickbait. He's a fake Raider. He's always been cool to me. I mean, I can go down that road of hating some of the, the topics he talks about, but I do clickbait too, as best in my possible. And he puts in work. He gives me storylines. But long story short, he made a video, and I guess we think alike. He saw posts like that as well, and he talked about it in his video. And I'm like, damn, could this shit be real? Is the NFL going to look at it and investigate it in the future? I mean, everything happens bad for the Raiders, right? Is Roger Goodell and all these people going to try to take away from their negativity? And are they going to investigate something like this to see if it's possible? Because there's got to be a storyline in the future about how the NFL caught somebody gambling. They've done it with players already. But there's got to be a storyline where an organization or somebody within that organization, whoever it is, it gets caught. So publicly, the NFL can say, look, we're doing investigations and we're trying to find these motherfuckers. We're trying to save the game. Could that team be the Raiders in the future? We already know they hate us. Again, I don't even know if this really happened, but I guarantee you there's going to be an internal investigation and they're going to figure out a way, if it is a little bit similar or true, they're going to try to find evidence. And some shit may happen and may come down on the Raiders in the future. 1 year from now, 2 years from now, I don't know. They might create evidence. I have no fucking clue. But if I'm not the only one talking about it, if there's a lot of people on Twitter and X and big reporters, I don't know. All right, I'll leave it at that, man. It's up to you. Do you think that might have happened? I don't know. Maybe you guys don't. But yeah, AP is not a good coach. I love what he's trying to bring to the team. I love the swag. I love the pride. But he's just a mouthpiece. And I'm okay with that. But we got to take these coaching decisions away from him. Maybe it wasn't even his decision to go for the field goal. Maybe it was Marvin Lewis or one of these people that's supposedly helping him with game management. Because we heard during the broadcast he has a game management person. I really don't know. I might have been just talking nonsense, which I always do. But yeah, I'm not even mad that they lost. I'm just mad that we're not looking back at another Raider. A lean back. We are the Raiders and we lose every week. A lean back. And take a Raider. Not even mad that we lost. And people are going to say, it was a close game, Mikey. It was okay. We're still fighting. Yeah, some people are still fighting, but clearly others are not. And now with another loss, we're going to lose some more players in terms of injuries, the locker room, that they're just going to be going through the motions. Let's be honest. I said it 2 weeks ago, there's a fire sale coming. And it technically started. Now we got the trade deadline in 2 weeks. What are the Raiders going to do? I called it the official tank game for a reason. I believe this was going to show us if the Raiders are officially tanking or not for the season, for next year, to save all that. We're going to save so much money, Mikey Raider. We're going to have so much cap space. Oh, my God. Fuck. Shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter how much money the Raiders apparently have. We can't pick winners for shit. We suck. It's all the same shit. I don't have the answers, but I have dookies to take that I call Raiders. The other two, one of them was Devontae Adams dookie, the other one was Gardner Minshew dookie, and the third one was Antonio Pierce dookie. I'm about to do the Mark Davis dookie. Well, if the Raiders need to do something publicly, the trade deadline, if they are trying to win now, they need to go out and find players that they can sign on free agency for these injuries, and they need to find a player they think might make the roster next year. You don't want to go out and spend $5 million on whether it be a quarterback or whoever's out available to try to help this team be a little bit better by the end of the season. You want them to have a future maybe next year with the team as well. And they want that too. Because you get it, if they haven't been signed by week 7 or 8 and they get on a team, they're going to have pride to be on that team and earn some money to make a living later in their career. And then they're going to be like, please, I would like to be on this team next year. It doesn't have to be for the same amount of money, but I want to at least play for a team for the next 2 years to earn some income for my family. So they need to pick a player, if they are going to do so, that might have a chance making our team next year. But that's only if they're trying to win. If they're not, they're just going to continue picking up scrubs, young players that really have no pedigree, and that's proving of the tank. Because they're going to get these players on a cheap dollar amount. And then people are going to say, it's because they're already tanking the season. They're trying to save more money for next year, Mikey. All right. But if we're an organization with the slogan that's above everything else, the shield and the slogan, just win, baby, the Raiders are proving they're not trying to win. They are proving now, officially, in my opinion, especially with that field goal call by Antonio Pierce, that the Raiders are just tanking, baby. I want to see what happens with this organization the next week or two. Do we actually go out there and try to make some moves and spend $20, $30 million on whatever veterans are available to actually help this team? Or are we going to get the scrubs that are just going to take a roster spot and we're giving up officially? Let's see what happens in the next couple weeks. I believe we're tanking. They're not going to spend any more money. Mark Davis likes to have that money in his account. It probably earns interest. And even though we have the pride of thinking we're going to have $100 and something million in cap space next year, remember, legally, they only have to spend like something like 81% of the cap money within 89% within 3 years. So for every year, they can have 11% still on the roster in a bank account, maybe earning interest. I don't know how it works. But they can save 11% every year for 3 years. Then in the third year, they have to spend it all. We're technically in our first year. We spent all of our cap space last year. Now we got like 35 million or something in cap space. That's like probably the 11%. And we're going to save as much of that as we can this year. The next year, even if we got 106 million, whatever, left over in cap space, Mark Davis from every 100 million can save $11 million and not have to spend it. So that's another $30, $40 million next year that will not be spent. And he won't be forced to spend it for another 2 years. So every season moving forward, we might have $40 million, depending on the official cap space, that Mark Davis does not have to spend legally. You guys are the money people. You go figure that shit out. But we're going to find out what the Raiders are doing in the next couple days. But I don't even know who we play next week. It's probably the Kansas City fucking Chiefs. We're going to lose that game. But are we going to look a little better and prideful? Are we going to have Kansas City week at the Raiders practices? Or is it going to be more of the bullshit? We get penalties and turnovers. Penalties and turnovers. That's how we're going to fix it. We stop the penalties and turnovers. Antonio Pierce keeps saying same line in press conferences. Penalties and turnovers. That's what we got to do. That's what it was. Penalties and turnovers. None of my play calling is penalties and turnovers. Penalties and turnovers. Not my fault. Penalties and turnovers. Not my fault. Penalties and turnovers. Not my fault. Players' fault. Players' fault. P and fucking T. P and fucking T. P and fucking T is the reason the Raiders suck. P and fucking T. I'm out of here. Raider Nation, please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. I love y'all. God bless. Have a beautiful week ahead of you. Get this Raider winning attitude out of your fucking head. I'm just, let's hope we look better in any sense at a position, at running back. Let's hope Zeus starts to put together some good games. Let's hope the offensive line starts to play better. Winning will always be in the back of our mind because it's too toxic to go in to try to win. And then in a close game, we start freaking the fuck out. I'm done with it. I love the Raiders. I'm a Raider for life. I'm hoping they win, but I'm not expecting it. I'm hoping they look better in these final 10 weeks. Wow, that's crazy to say. We would normally say that in these final 2 or 3 weeks. I'm hoping we look any better in these final 10 fucking weeks. Stay happy, stay happy, stay blessed, stay Raider. I love you guys.